The college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Friday, December 30th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by our mini helmet contest. The SGP mini helmets are now in the store, and we're giving one away for free. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. We're also brought to you by our college football invitational playoff props contest. $200 in gift card, essentially $200 gift card to the winner exclusively on the SGPN app, which you can download for free in the App Store or Google Play Store. So grab that thing today, and remember to let it ride.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome to the college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Friday, December 30th. Going a little earlier than the schedule. Shout out to the chats rolling along already. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, well, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink, and I don't have stress, and I'm healthy.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
You know what that means? Picks haven't been absolutely on fire. We will talk about it. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator at West Virginia with Bob Huggins and Frank Martin at South Carolina, host of the Ryan and Rush Show, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, Ryan McIntyre. How you doing, man?
Boom. Yes, I'm doing all right, I guess. Pour myself a little whiskey after some of these upsets. How about those chips? Sorry, Noah Beanick.
Oh, we're going to get to it. We got the third man in the booth, the DFS god himself. Remember to come play DFS with us. We tweet it out. We tweet it out as often as we can at TCE on SGPN on Twitter. Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lot giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's going on, guys?
Whew, I mean, can we call this the upset special of the season so far? I feel like every game, for the most part, has been kind of a lot of dogs biting today. I'll put it like that. A lot of dogs biting today. And even games where teams woke up late. There were some other upset watch games I feel like happening. I know Penn State struggled with Delaware State. Even Ohio State, Alabama, A&M. I watched the first half, and I was like, is A&M going to win this game? They opened it up in the second half, but it just seemed like that was the theme for the entire day. I know we're going
Maryland, yeah. UMBC was tight, and a lot of mid-major upsets that are maybe kind of off the radar for the average fan. But man, Winthrop goes down to Upstate, Campbell goes down to Presbyterian. I mean, it's been a rough day. That's for sure. At least for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I agree, right? I mean, I still have a couple locks out there that could really help me. But we will get to them, because let's recap a little bit. I know that we're going a little bit earlier tonight, but
sorry, that's whenever I join, you have to go early.
He's got kids. That's pretty much what we do. We alter the schedule to the guy with kids. All right.
No doubt. We got to make it happen. Hey, we got to bring in NC Nick to change the mojo for tomorrow, baby.
Yeah,
there we go. Tough night tonight.
There we go. True. I like it.
So currently UTEP is beating UAB with 3 minutes left, 52-51. That would be a big upset to add to this mix. Also, how about the fact right now? I mean, Georgia Southern is beating South Alabama by 12. That would be an upset.
Memphis is locked up with USF. They were 15-point favorites.
That was my big money line last night.
Was it? Oh, I haven't listened to it yet. All right, man. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. They're weird, man, because like South Florida, like they've been rolling going into tonight, and like both teams are so up and down. I was like, I could see Memphis just drilling them by 30. But I mean, if you want to just get a little bit of action, just sprinkle a little bit on South Florida's money line.
Yeah. You were. I was like, you were crazy. I mean, I just can't. I can never. Like, that's one team I just stay away from the entire season. Like,
and Memphis at home is usually pretty legit, but struggling right now, that's for sure.
South Florida is like the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the hardest teams to understand in college basketball.
Yeah.
Like at certain nights, like they can get up and beat you. So, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked at this, but other nights they can lose to Stetson, So, all right. The games today that we can touch base on that are final. We were on the right side of Brown. NC Nick, who'd you take in the Brown Northwestern?
Oh, Brown. Should have locked it up.
Almost won this thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they were up at half. This is a close game down the stretch. We should have locked that up. I feel bad about not locking that one up. But the vacuum company, Wagner, they came through for us somehow, some way. Jeez. The sweat was real in this one. Oh, man.
We used all our luck in that game.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
We shouldn't have covered that one, honestly. That we were not on the right side. LIU was awful down the stretch, though. Why'd they play that game at Barclays?
I have no idea. Rod Strickland pulling. He's like, hey, he probably knows Jay-Z. And he's like, dude, can I play at that stadium?
Retro Bowl Coach in the chat says he's had a good day. Well, I'm glad somebody has. So cheers to you, Retro Bowl Coach.
Yeah, and I'll even shout out Moneyline Mac he locked up Greensboro against Western Carolina, which I thought was foolish. And even at halftime, I was like, I had the game on a little bit here. I was like, dude, he's gonna lose this bet. And then I thought, oh, okay. I went out, grabbed a bite to eat. I'm at grabbing a bite to eat. I look at the score. I'm like, damn, Greensboro 38-17 in the second half. Sparty gets it done on the road against the Catamounts. Nice win for you there, Moneyline Mac.
I felt pretty good about that one. I considered locking in it. Didn't have the guts. Couldn't pull the trigger. I was on UNCG, but yeah, man, dominated that second half. I mean, come on. They're a much better basketball program than Western Carolina.
Yeah, but I feel like Carolina's a little chippy.
And Noah is in the chat.
There he is.
Noah,
Go Blue.
what's up, man?
Get ready for that football game on Saturday.
Guys, Central Michigan was 295 on Ken Palm. 295. That is an upset.
I'm shocked that Central Michigan won, but we were all over this call last night. I said, man, these directional schools in the MAC always kind of give Michigan more than they bargained for. You know what I mean? Like more, at least spread wise. I feel like each year you're like, no, I got to take Western Michigan or Central Michigan or Eastern Michigan when they play, because we saw that earlier this year with Amani Bates and Eastern Michigan, who's been dog shit all year. They almost won that thing.
Yeah.
So, honestly,
no, in the chat.
What you saying?
He said, I purposely missed the first 5 minutes of the show because of this. Smart man. He knows the show too well.
What if you would have asked me, which I did have a friend ask me, a friend I went to high school with, DM'd me, was like, I happen to have hit like seven locks for him in a row, where he's like DM'd me, and he's like, who is your favorite basketball game to bet on all day today? And I was like, easily Campbell. Lay the points with Campbell. They're gonna fuck up Presbyterian. No, they lose by double digits to Presbyterian. What? I've watched this Presbyterian team play. Campbell's not bad. What? This is a hangover. This has got to be a Christmas hangover. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the line. I should have backed away because of the stink, because the line should have been like 7. What do you guys think of this game?
I thought Campbell got their ass kicked. I mean, it never really was a game. Presbyterian hit him in the mouth. Campbell never could get it within 5 or 6 down the stretch. You mentioned it. A lot of these teams sleepwalking through this in between week. That's kind of awkward between Christmas and New Year's. Maybe had too much fun with the fat chicks back home.
I mean, that is true because some teams have like week and a half to 2 weeks off, or they have like one game in between. It's kind of hard to get a rhythm when the games are so sporadic. So like you, I was on the Camels. I didn't like it, didn't bet it, but I was surprised to see basically up almost double digits, throughout most of the game. I mean, Presbyterian pulled away like late first half and just kept it going there. So I was surprised not to see any more fight from the Campbell Camels.
Yeah, I was expecting a run at some point, but anyway, so then how about the Charlotte 49ers? I fucking should have bet them. I knew it. I mean, they beat Middle Tennessee by 15 points in Charlotte. Ron Sanchez. Isn't that a mix of Michael Vick's name when he was getting his herpes medicine? Is it Ron Mexico, and then you have the Dirty Sanchez? So it's just a fantastic name. Ron Sanchez, though, and the 49ers win 82-67. I mean, Charlotte's good, guys. They're low-key. Like, I feel like Vegas,
especially at home,
I feel like they haven't adjusted to how good they are. You guys agree? Or, I mean, they were 10-3? Bryce Williams had 31 points tonight.
Yeah, that Detroit loss is still like fresh in my mind. I know we both ate shit on that one when they laid an egg at Detroit. But yeah, no, this is a good basketball team. I mean, they were toe-to-toe with UAB the game before. Conference USA is solid. Western Kentucky, we'll get to them in a minute, but I mean, there's a lot of good teams here.
Yeah, and like I said, they're especially good at home. They are undefeated at home. There are 3 losses coming, 2 on the road and 1 to UMass at the neutral site in one of those games right around Thanksgiving. So, I think something to take note of is Charlotte when they're playing at home. And sure enough, 2 days from now, New Year's Eve, they host La Tech. So we might want to get on that, as long as the spread's not, too crazy. But, Charlotte at home looks legit.
Yeah. So basically so far on my locks, I was 1-1, lost on Campbell, hit on the Vacuum Company, but then I locked up Queens -6, and they win, of course, because they're the greatest team ever. But they only win by 4 against Austin Peay, and they were asleep a lot. They were down 14 at halftime, and they still won. Heart of a champion, but damn it, great teams cover. Queens, you're not there yet.
They almost did cover.
Yeah,
they almost came all the way back to cover. I was like, no way we're going to get this one.
Do you guys both lock it up?
Yeah. Did you?
No, I refrained. I took Queens and I considered it, but I just had a feeling that maybe hold off today. And thankfully I did. Unfortunately some of my other locks didn't hit, but at least I didn't, actually lose money there.
How about Liberty putting it on Bellarmine? I mean, 17-point win. And I locked up and I, made a nice decent wager on the Butler Bulldogs. Only down, what was that? 46-18 at halftime. Perfect.
Dude, they're on the no touch list. Okay. I mean, you don't, I'm not saying like they're total fades, but I'm just saying that right now you can't bet on them. You need to wait, watch a few games, see how they come together with all those guys coming back into the fold now. Cause right now, you just got to wait and see here.
Yeah.
How about the Friars?
Dude, I was actually thinking about this because I know yesterday we were talking that we think Neptune and Villanova, when they get Justin Moore, if he's healthy, they could still, really contend for the Big East. Mm-hmm. But, it looks like UConn and Nova and Creighton, maybe not so much. What about Providence? They look really fucking good.
They look really good. Bryce Hopkins is awesome. Devin Carter's awesome. I mean, they just reloaded through the transfer portal. And, I'm starting to see the nerds already start the narrative that Providence is one of the luckier teams again this year. Screw that. All they do is win. Yeah. They won the Big East last year at 15-3, went to the Sweet 16, 3-0. They just put it on them in a tough place to play in Hinkle.
Plus, you would think that they're only going to get better as the season continues because A, they have a good coach, and B, they have a lot of new faces that should, start learning each other on the court, and they should, be playing their best ball come March. So I would say they're ahead of schedule right now.
Oh, yeah. There's no luck when you're up 48-16 at halftime.
Dude, that's Butler, man. That's surprising here, okay?
Agreed.
I mean, to get beat that badly at home, that's not Butler teams that we know in the past. We know that they're not always the most talented squads. Sometimes they might struggle on the road, but at home, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Unbelievably bad loss there. FIU, the airport, barely beat Florida College. Something to monitor there. The upsets were almost happening all across the sport. Hofstra, thought I should have locked this up now that I think about it. Estrada had 31. They go to Delaware, win by 14. Nice win for the Pride. And Marshall how good is Marshall in Huntington? Marshall could win if they
win the national championship.
I'm about to say, thankfully, the Final Four of the NCAA tournament's not being held in Huntington because, damn it, Marshall's absolutely fire at home. They win by 26 against App State. And then the game we were alluding to earlier, my Western Kentucky Hilltoppers that I bet blow a 10-point halftime lead and lose outright. I fucking hate this team. I hate this team. I have a new hated team in college basketball. I mean, how does this happen? It's Rice, man. It's Rice. I know they're not terrible, but I'm saying that's a far trip. This place gets lit. You're up by 10. How do you blow a double-digit lead, let alone lose the game outright? Pathetic. Fire Stansberry. They need to go out there. Hey, maybe Calipari wants to go a little bit up the road.
Western Kentucky, come on.
Hey, ironically, though, Colby, they pulled a Stansberry tonight, but Stansberry didn't coach the game.
Yeah, I know. I was relieved.
It's still his fault.
Right? It's still his fault because it's his
staff.
Yeah, it's assistants that is following his shit-ass philosophies of how to win basketball games.
How to underachieve.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned this yesterday that I thought we should have locked up James Madison. I'm very mad at myself for not locking up James Madison. They won by 16 in Atlanta. Held Georgia State to just 47 points at home. That is a damn good win there for the Dukes. I know Marshall is in their conference and Southern Miss too, but damn if I don't think JMU is going to be an NCAA tournament team this year. You guys catch the Dukes at all today?
They're hard to handicap because they drill teams or they just lay an egg. I mean, we saw what they did against Coppin State and who was it, Valpo?
Yeah.
I like the Dukes, though. I mean, I think they have NCAA tournament talent. They just got to avoid the letdown games.
How about the Sun Belt?
Yeah. Well, first, I got cued and went Georgia State here, so I was dead wrong with that. And yeah, dude, James Madison here, how they have come into the Sun Belt in football and basketball here and have represented themselves very well. Me being a Sun Belt guy, I'm like, man, really? They're going to come in here, not dominate, but I mean, their first year, I would hope that, the old Sun Belt teams would fare a bit better against them, I guess.
JMU
give them
has
credit.
Yeah, JMU, I'm looking right now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Every single win that they have, with the exception, every win they have. Dude, let me just rattle off these scores. All right. They won by, what is this? Let me do my math here. This might take a long time. I'm counting 85 points in the opener. So 85-point win. Then a 48-point win. Then they beat Buffalo by 35. Then they beat Howard by 26. Then Coastal Georgia by 46. Man. Then South Dakota State by 19. Then Eastern Kentucky by 17. Then Gallaudet by what is that?
Don't even mention
63. Long Island by 36. Georgia State by 16. Every one of their wins are just fucking. It's like unbelievable that they're just beating teams that bad. I don't care that some of those are D2. It doesn't matter. James Madison.
They can
has
pour it
shown-
on, man. They can certainly pour it on.
Northern Kentucky. There's one. There's a lock. Whew, I needed this.
North.
Put it on Wright State by 14 at home. Don't look now, though. Wright State's Trey Calvin had a big day. 31 points there for him. Detroit did cover against Green Bay. East Tennessee State, live dogs. They beat Wofford. We called that as live dogs last night. They beat Wofford outright. UMBC, did they? No, they still covered. Okay, for a second, they didn't cover. VMI did not cover, surprisingly, to Furman. And how about Nebraska? Nebraska beats Iowa, dominates this game. You know, I was originally on Nebraska, and I'm throwing some shade at Moneyline Mac here. He convinced me to jump back on the Hawkeyes because they had lost previously to, what was that? Who was it? Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, Nebraska's not that bad this year. They're gonna be a hard out for a lot of those teams. I think this is gonna be a for sure dub. Like, I doubt they go dancing or anything, but they're gonna be
especially in Lincoln, which is kind of a tricky road trip. So I'll throw my dick in the air up here a little bit because I think the only one on Telly's side that picked Nebraska. Granted, I didn't bet it, so I'm not any richer.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling that Nebraska at home is a little plucky, so I did go Cornhuskers there.
Yeah. Then the Citadel drills Chattanooga. I mean, so I'm like 2-5, I feel like, on locks right there, or 2-4. It's one of the two. And then I was surprised Oakland dominated Milwaukee that game, or that way. Did not see that one coming. And then Central Michigan beats Michigan, as we alluded to. Huge upset for the MAC. And then Louisiana, they go to Myrtle Beach and get caught up in the mullet, and they lose. This is a lock that I felt great about. I was like, Louisiana's a lot better than Coastal Carolina this year. No. Coastal wins by 1. It's been a shitty night. And Arkansas State just beats Old Dominion in Norfolk.
Jeez.
I mean, the upsets are rolling in. They're rolling in right now. Robert Morris beats IPFW. Didn't see that one. I mean, we thought that line smelled.
That's a lock I whiffed on right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of big time upsets, and I'm sure there's more. UTEP UAB headed to overtime right now. Let's do some game balls for the final games that have gone final. I know what Stephen F. Austin also just beat Abilene Christian by 7. We were on the right side of that. Oh man, I mean, okay, what's that score of that Georgetown game right now?
The Hoyas are up 1 at the under 8.
Clanging.
South Florida up 10.
Oh, let's go.
All right. This is going to be like a no-hitter here. We can't talk about it anymore, right?
Yeah. Hey, we do have to talk about the Discord because Noah and I have been doing like a round robin kind of thing, throwing out a round robin each night. Currently, Noah has Rice, which he hit, Arkansas State, which he hit, and he's got Monroe and Western Illinois right now. For $22, it turned it into $1,800. So that's why you get in the Discord.
Wait, Western Illinois is getting drilled. Oh no, they came back. They were down 10 last I saw. Damn it, I took the lock off of them, man. I was gonna lock up the Leathernecks. Our Tommies are down 5, but there's still 6.5 minutes left.
Oh, one other thing too. We have a lock battle actually between Colby and I. And what is it? It's Tennessee Tech, SIU, Edwardsville. The line is at 10, right?
I think I got it at 10.5.
Okay, I'm
in with 10. Colby. Yeah, I'm with Colby on this one.
And right now at the half, Edwardsville is up 10, right where the line is at. So that'll be one to monitor. I need it.
Call off the dogs, SIU. You got the game. Don't be an asshole.
Come on, Cougars.
I mean, my night's going to be terrible. I mean, it's already terrible. And, you know, I took a shot on UT Martin against Little Rock. Little Rock's up 17 at halftime. How the fuck is that possible? Little Rock has looked so bad this year.
The tragedy game.
Yeah, here's what it was. Last time I was on the show, I was talking shit about all these awful Arkansas schools. They're showing up today.
They're getting up.
I'm saying, man.
Game one. How are you fading La Pepe for Loyola?
That game's good. I had a hard time there. And look, normally when I fade them, I eat shit. So, but I didn't.
I locked up Loyola. They're up 13 in the first half right now. Not to jinx anything, but I'm surprised that you're fading your boy La Pepe.
I just thought Portland's a good team, but it doesn't surprise me because he is a fucking beast. I'm telling you, folks, if you have not watched him currently, is he leading the team in points right now? He's got 8 points.
Of course he is.
Yeah, 8 points, 3 boards. That guy is a fucking beast. I'm telling you, you got to watch this kid. All right, game balls. All right, NC Nick did it first last time. Moneyline Mac, you are first with your first game ball for the night on the outcomes that we have. What are you doing?
Yeah, this one's easy. Chips, Central Michigan, little brother over big brother. Go into Ann Arbor and get the win outright. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, obviously, I think that's everyone's first one there. But yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go with Sonny Dykes, TCU coach, did shit on the SEC scheduling, and I think he's correct to do it. But he did just randomly throw in the Citadel, just dealing blows for Citadel did nothing to you. But hey, Citadel, they took it personal as a whole institution because they came out and they drilled Chattanooga. So I'm going to go the Citadel with my game ball in the SoCon, getting it done. Nick, it is on you now.
I'll take you to Lincoln. I'll take you to Nebraska. I mean, they've been so bad at basketball for so long. I think this is kind of a statement win here. Their first Big Ten win of the year. And like we were saying, that's going to be a hard place for teams to go into in conference play. So give me Nebraska game ball.
There we go. Moneyline Mac, your final game ball.
I'm going to the Big East here. Ed Cooley and the Friars go into Hinkle, make a statement. You don't see Butler lose by 20 at home and be down by 30 at the half often at home. So kudos to the Friars for getting to 3-0 in Big East play.
Yeah, and I'll continue that, with teams that have surprised. I'm going to put Queens in here. They came back from down 14 at halftime. I know it's just Austin Peay. But Queens, who's not eligible to make the NCAA tournament because of some filthy rule that is only there to hurt people. Queens battles back from 14 down, gets the dub. They are 11-3. They're 11-3. They've only played 2 home games this year. That means that's unbelievable what they're doing. So I got to put Queens in there. NC Nick, your final game ball.
Give me Upstate. South Carolina Upstate. Look, I know this isn't – well, first off, they've been such a bad program for so long. I mean, they're at the bottom of that conference for the last decade or so. For them to step up, take care of business at home against Winthrop. But granted, this is not the Winthrop team that we've seen in the past, but still, Winthrop has kind of owned that conference of late. So this is a huge win for Upstate. Give the Spartans some credit. Give them a game ball.
There we go. I like it. Giving Upstate some love. All right, folks, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by WynnBET. WynnBET is the official online sportsbook of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and the college basketball experience. And WynnBET is active in a bunch of states, and there are tons of ways to win, including live betting, same game parlays. And look, there's reduced juice on sides and totals for all bowl games, game day of. So you got to check that out. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know that we sent you. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where you can play. WynnBET is available. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Boom.
You used to do micro machine commercials?
Yeah, we go way back. I was inspired by them, man.
I'm not sure who's going to get that reference. Probably not too many people, but
either
the one person that gets it.
Either that or John Scatman with that song. I'm the Scat Man. Yeah, that's my definitely losing followers there too. Also want to tell you that we're brought to you by us. Yes, don't forget to enter the SGP mini helmet contest. I'm not talking about one of those helmets that you get in the vending machines that were awesome. I don't know that they still do that. Those old little. This is like a little bit bigger of a mini helmet, if that makes sense. From now until the end of the year, just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet to enter. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. And we're also going to give you away a $200 gift card to the winner for our college football playoff props contest. Yes, exclusively on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store, Google Play Store. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, at Underdog Fantasy, the season never ends. Yes, right now you can play their weekly Battle Royale games. You can even draft your best playoff best ball team. They also have a ton of daily games for NHL, NBA, all this good stuff. Plus, when you use the promo code SGPN at UnderdogFantasy.com, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, here we go. Let's pick some winners, guys, for a change. All right. What do I have left? I'm just like, is there any chance, by the way, let me see if there's an update. UTEP's up 3.
The Tommies are coming down the wire.
Okay, I really need them to. I really need them to get it done.
We got some chances here still.
How
the
about
night is young.
How about Utah Valley just destroying Sam Houston State? Sam Houston State's a good team. They beat Utah and Oklahoma. Utah Valley getting it done. DePaul up 7 on Georgetown. Uh-oh.
I know. They just cut it to 5. But, yeah, classic Georgetown. I mean, that team gives up more 10-0 runs than any team I've seen in the country this year.
I know we're picking games here, Nick, but you didn't get a chance to listen to last night's show. I'm saying St. John's and Georgetown should be offering John Calipari an exit plan from Kentucky because all these fans are pissed at Calipari.
Right.
Yep.
No, completely. I mean, dude, that'd be a home run hire. And Calipari is the type of person where if he's not feeling appreciated, if people aren't, kissing his feet, then he might want to leave. So you never know.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
All right, let's go. Game 1. ECC play tomorrow. Fantastic. This is actually a huge game now.
Now we're talking.
I know.
Who would have thought if you had told me this, early mid-October, I'd say you're a fool. Get out of here. UNC heads to Pitt. Take on Jeff Capel's squad. UNC's a 5.5-point favorite. I'm on Pitt, guys. Nick, I know you're down there in the Carolinas. You hate North Carolina because you're a Duke guy. Capel's a Duke guy. Is this just a blind go with my boy, or are you actually what are you doing here?
Well, I don't think it's blind. I think, first off, UNC is 0-2 on the road so far this year. They lost by 12 at Indiana and by 8 at Virginia Tech. And Pitt is somewhat surprising. They're actually playing decent ball. 9-3-1 ATS, top 15 or so in the country with their ATS record. My one concern is that one of their big guys, John Hughley, he's missed the last couple of games. They definitely need him to help bang with Baycott. He put up 18 on the Tar Heels in Chapel Hill last year in a game where Pitt won by 9. Okay, so last year they played one time. Pitt went into Chapel Hill, won by 9. So I don't think it's that crazy here to go with a home dog. If you look at the Tar Heels, they've won 4 straight. Are they getting a little bit better? I mean, they beat Michigan and Ohio State, but both were very close. I'm on Pitt also. I'm going to home dog it up here. Now, looking at this slate here, I'm on a lot of dogs, which has me worried because the dogs are hitting tonight, But no, I'm going to take the 5.5 with the home dog. And if UNC wins, I'm hoping it's close.
Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
Nick, these are our 2 favorite teams, Carolina and Pitt. I mean, this is great. I'm on Carolina because you're on Pitt. The only reason I think Carolina is slowly playing better. I think it's also a revenge angle from last year. You touched on it. I was going to hit on that point that they went into Chapel Hill and kind of beat them down. That sparked Carolina's run going forward in February and March. So I'll take Carolina here, but no lock for me here. I'm looking forward to watching this. We need more standalone games at the high major level now.
Yeah, I'm certainly not comfortable enough to actually bet Pitt plus 5.5, even though they're playing better lately too. Like I still don't trust them. I don't know anybody that can really trust them. But look at that UNC. If you want to, look at their struggles, it's all perimeter based, man. Davis and Love are turning the ball over too much, and their shooting has been bad. Love is below 30% from 3, and Davis is just barely above it. So they need those guys, to go along with the interior. We'll see if they ever turn into the team they could be. But, give me the points.
All right, next up, and I'm wondering if we should lock this, or does the smell, is there a little stink to this game? Jimmy Larranaga and the Miami Hurricanes are traveling to South Bend, Indiana, where I'm sure that fine establishment I did stand up at, what was it, the Linebacker Inn? The Linebacker Inn will be packed watching this one. Probably not because it's basketball, but Miami's only laying 2.5. Am I crazy? Should we bet this one? Why is this? But it smells, right? It smells a little bit. Shouldn't this line be more like 5.5, 6? Nick, you're the ACC guy.
It smells a lot. Notre Dame is 3-10 ATS versus major conference opponents straight up. The Irish are only 1-4. Meanwhile, Miami has won 8 in a row, and they're 3-0 to start ACC play. I'm going Notre Dame. So Brey does fuck with Larranaga. Notre Dame's won 4 in a row in this series, and you could argue Miami's had the better teams the last couple of years also. So again, the line does stink. I'm going to home dog it up again.
He's won 4 in a row. This is why it's personal to him. Give me Miami minus 2.5, but I'm not locking it because of the stink. I can't lock this one. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm on Notre Dame here. You mentioned it. This line stinks. Miami coming off the big Virginia win, feeling all happy about themselves going into Christmas. This is when Notre Dame starts playing better every year. They look at what they did last year out of Christmas. They won 4 in a row. They got big home wins over Carolina and who was it, Clemson as well. I think they do the same this year. I think they win this game outright.
All right, next up we have Bucknell, 7-6, third in the Patriot League currently.
You got a line for this?
I do have a line for this.
Oh, nice.
Bucknell heading to Holy Cross. Bucknell's laying 5.5. Okay, guys.
Lock it.
Okay, guys. Wow. This is how we get back on the right side of things. Holy Cross is playing basketball. Give me Bucknell minus 5.5. Lock it up. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm joining you. We have a rule here. We auto fade Holy Cross.
Let's go. Lock it up. Nick?
So this is the first I've seen the line because before, I guess maybe it just came out or wherever I was looking, it didn't. But yeah, my first reaction is definitely go Bucknell, lock it up. I will say Holy Cross. Triple lock it. Go ahead.
Triple lock music. Sorry to cut you off. Give me Bucknell. Says the college basketball experience. Lay the 5.5.
Now, are you not concerned that over the last 5 games, Holy Cross, well, they have 1 win, but 3 of the 4 losses have been less than 5 points?
You know, the only one I'll give them a little bit of credit to is the Northeastern one.
Quinnipiac?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to say New Hampshire and Sacred Heart they actually suck.
True.
So losing by 18 to New Hampshire, that's still a little bit of a red flag there. But yeah.
This is Noah's team.
Yeah.
This is he's a Denver guy and a Holy Cross guy. So he's
so
he's single hand. Yeah, those are his 2 squads.
I like Bucknell though. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Go.
Especially because there's not. I mean, we have a smaller slate here, and I was kind of reaching for some locks. So let's go Bucknell.
Manhattan's traveling to St. Peter's. St. Peter's, they've been a tough team to get a read on this year. St. Peter's is laying 6. St. Peter's 6-6 on the season, coming off a 30-point loss at Maryland. Meanwhile, Manhattan, the Jaspers, had all this crazy shit happen like a week before the season. They lost key players, key coaches, but they're 4-7. They're a little bit better than I projected. They just beat Marist by 11 on the road. Manhattan's getting 6. Last time they played, St. Peter's beat them by 22, but once again, that's a complete different St. Peter's team. I'm still laying the 6. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I agree. Actually, both of the games last year, St. Peter's won by 20 plus, but you probably expect that from a team that went to the Elite 8 against Manhattan. This year, obviously, the teams are a lot closer, but I still think St. Peter's is better, and they're at home, so I'll lay the points.
Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, the Jaspers have been pretty good against the spread so far this year. I'll take the points. St. Peter's is so up and down. They've been hard to handicap all year.
Yeah, definitely. Navy heads to Boston. This is actually a pretty good matchup going on in the Patriot League. Both teams with a winning record. Navy's getting 1.5 points on the road at the Case Gym. Who's going to crack the case? Navy won this matchup by 5 last March. Give me the midshipmen. I think they're the better team. Plus 1.5. This is, on a night where I don't have a ton of plays I like, I might even lock this one up at some point. I don't know. This is one that's on the fence for me. What are you doing here, Mac?
I like Navy here as well. Navy's coming off the loss to VCU. I'll lean to the midshipmen here with the triple option.
Nick?
Yeah, definitely. Here's another one where I didn't see a line beforehand, so it's an initial reaction for me. You guys got to let me know where you're seeing this stuff at beforehand, but I like Navy a lot here.
Well,
I'll consider locking it as well.
I just got all of these. As like when we started the show, I did not have lines on these.
Gotcha.
Stetson is taking on Lipscomb. Decent matchup here. Stetson's been weird though. They've been down the stretch here. Started out hot. They've lost 3 in a row, only 4 of their last 6. Remember, they beat Florida State in Tallahassee, and I believe they beat South Florida, who, like Nick mentioned, currently up big on Memphis. Stetson's getting 6.5 on the road in Nashville against Lipscomb. Lipscomb's fucked me a bunch of times this year. Last time these teams met, Stetson won by 6. This is at Allen Arena. Yeah. Give me Stetson in the points. Nick?
I'm going to go with the home team. I actually watched a Lipscomb game at home earlier in the year. I think it was when they beat Belmont.
Yeah, I watched
that place gets pretty lit, man. That's actually a decent home court environment, which you might not expect. So I'll lay the points with the Bisons of Lipscomb.
Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, and Lipscomb is coming off the big win against Louisville. Just the latest team that beat Louisville, Lipscomb. No big deal, Louisville. For Stetson, I mean, they've lost 3 in a row, but it's been against quality teams. I'm going to lean to the Hatters here.
All right. NC State goes into Clemson. This game's fantastic tomorrow. ACC Network, Clemson, NC State, kind of both ahead of schedule from where we had them projected in preseason talks. Clemson's laying 2. I'm going to lay the 2 because this is at, what do they call this one? Littlejohn Coliseum. Look, well, Robin Hood's not playing for fucking NC State, so I don't got to worry about Littlejohn. All right. Give me Clemson -2. NC Nick, you're right there in Raleigh.
No, I completely agree. NC State has had trouble with Clemson recently. They're 1-4 over the last 5 games, and they haven't won at Clemson since 2015. So that's 4 straight losses in a row.
Should we
at
lock
Clemson? I'm locking it. Yeah, I think Clemson. With a healthy PJ Hall, they're undefeated at home this year. NC State's 0-1 on the road. I like Clemson here. Lock it up.
I'm with you. Let's go. Come to the land down under and ride with the Clemson Tigers. They're a basketball school now. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm joining in on Clemson here. I think they have struggled away from home, but they're really good at Littlejohn. I'll lock it up. Let's go.
Oh, triple locks and flowing. Let's go. Siena. Well, first, there is a St. Andrews. St. Andrews is taking on South Carolina State. There's no line on that because St. Andrews probably a D2 school or D3 or NAI. I don't know. Some shit.
Finally, the Bulldogs aren't playing on the road.
Yeah, they get a home game. Jeez. Siena's heading to Quinnipiac. It's a good game. This is a good mid-major game here. These are 2 schools. I know we all think Iona is going to win just like we thought last year. Well, that wasn't the case in the MAAC. I think these 2 teams do have a shot this year at contending for the MAAC championship. All right, Quinnipiac, you filthy hole. I'm laying the 4 with Quinnipiac. Nick?
I disagree. I think the Saints of Siena are the better team. I mean, they already have wins over Florida State, Seton Hall, and the Bonnies this year. If you're looking at some of the advanced metrics, some of the stuff that jumps off the screen is the poor free throw shooting of Quinnipiac, 352nd in the country. If it's a close game, you're trying to cover 3.5. You need to hit some of those freebies. I'm on Siena. I think they probably went out right.
Oh, you're crazy. And look, it's not like Quinnipiac went on the road to Rhode Island and won. They also beat Stephen F. Austin. They beat Montana State. They only lost by 2 to Hofstra. Kept it close with Penn State for a lot of the game.
They're solid. They're solid.
Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
I like Quinnipiac to bounce back. They were impressive against Penn State right before the Christmas break. I think it's a good spot for them. Looking forward to watching this game. I think these are two underrated teams.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's a good game. It's one of the better games of the day. Morgan State is laying 8 at Hartford. Once again, Hartford and their administration, the worst human beings in America, I believe, as they're basically on the verge of dumping. I saw that their old assistant, they settled out of court. Or their old, not assistant, their old head coach. But Hartford's 4-11. Morgan State's 4-8. Morgan State's been on the road everywhere. This team has played everywhere. You look at that road schedule. They were in Cincinnati, Richmond, Akron. I believe they went to Utah to take on Utah Valley. They were in L.A. I caught them in L.A. They're in Tucson. Yeah. I mean, all over the place. They're at Hartford. Hartford is catching 8. So Morgan State laying 8. I'm taking the points in Hartford because Morgan State's been weird. Give me the points in Hartford. Nick?
I think I want to go ahead and lay the points. I mean, you're right. Morgan State has been weird. You saw them in person take Loyola Marymount to overtime.
I was convinced, and then I locked them up a couple times. They lost by 30. I was like, this team, they were better than Loyola that game. They should have won that game.
They also took Utah Valley to overtime. You mentioned that one. That was at a neutral site. That was in Jamaica, man. That tells me enough that they at least have talent. I'm going to go Morgan State. I'm going to go the Bears. I'm going to lay the 8.
Mac?
Yeah, I struggle with this one. I'm going to lay it with the Bears as well. I think they're the better team. I mean, screw Hartford too. I mean, getting rid of their basketball program. Yeah. So let's go Morgan State.
Amen. Lehigh is heading to Army.
Great game.
Stacking the money greens. Mountain Hawks heading to West Point. Army's laying 6. Ugh. Both these teams are like mirror images. You look at even like the analytics on this. It's there's a lot of, I guess,
below average.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Army's way more efficient offensively, but yeah, I think you got to take Army. Actually, the more I dive in, Lehigh's the much better defensive team. Army's the much better offensive team, but Army's at home. No, it's too many points though. Give me Lehigh plus the points. Nick?
Yeah, you said 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like laying a whole lot of points with Army. I like, picking and choosing spots with Army if they're a dog or maybe a slight favorite. I think that's too much. Give me the Mountain Hawks.
Mac?
Yeah, no, it's crazy with Lehigh. I mean, this was a proud program once upon a time. They've been really good, but they're not very good at all this year. Yeah. They got drilled by Cornell right before the break, but I'll take the points. Like you said, it's hard to lay almost 2 possessions with Army.
This is conference play now. It's conference play, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Guys, the MAC made a statement tonight against the Big Ten. We saw it. Central Michigan said, look, we're not afraid of you little pussies. With your look at your commissioner. He's taking interviews, trying to dip out. He's just ruining college athletics with adding fucking LA teams. All right. Well, Buffalo heads into Michigan State tomorrow night, and Michigan State's a 16-point favorite. Can the MAC do it again to a Michigan school? Give me the 16 and the Bulls. What are you doing here, Nick?
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Buffalo just lost by 18 at WVU the week before Christmas. So we're kind of right in that same range with, another quality opponent. If you look at Sparty, their largest margin of victory this whole year has been by just 18 points. And that was over Northern Arizona and Brown. Meanwhile, they've also struggled with some lesser, mid-tier schools like Portland beating them by 1, and then recently only beating Oakland by 13. So I think Buffalo is just as good as those teams I mentioned there. So give me the points.
I mean, and Buffalo, Mac, refresh my memory here, but wasn't that game a lot closer than that outcome in Morgantown?
Yes, it was tied with 10 minutes to go. I'm locking up the Bulls. They've already gone to Morgantown. I mean, East Lansing, it's a hard place to play as well, but I think the Mountaineers are better than the Spartans this year. They're about the same. So, 16.5, that's too much with Big Ten play on deck. We've seen all these Big Ten teams looking ahead.
I like it.
Line, Mac.
I like it.
Says, what are you guys doing? Ride the ball. What did I say? You mess with the horns, you get the bull. There you go. Well, the MAC stays rolling because, guys, we have another opportunity. Imani Bates is heading down to Columbia, South Carolina.
Your team.
This is at the Colonial Life Arena. Shout out to that. What if I told you South Carolina's laying 9 points?
Oh.
Gosh. They could lose this game outright. But I do feel like South Carolina's been playing better, right? They've been playing a little bit better lately, right?
Yeah, they beat Stansbury.
And then they lost to ECU, who's arguably the best team in college basketball. I'm taking the 9. Nick?
I disagree. I'm going to lay it, actually. And I don't like it because, you don't like to lay that many points with South Carolina. But Eastern Michigan is just 1-4 on the road this year. They haven't played in 12 days, so they might be rusty. Who knows what Imani Bates has been doing in his hometown when they haven't had any basketball to play. And the Gamecocks are 5-0 at home, coming off a 7-point win at home against the Hilltoppers. So I think South Carolina is going to win by double digits, but no outcome would surprise me in this game.
Mac, you going with the Mac?
Great variance.
Yeah, I'll ride the action here. This is one you just take a flyer on the money line too. I mean, because Eastern Michigan, like South Florida, could get drilled by 30 just because there's all over the place. But hey, maybe they can pop up against a bad SEC team and pick them off.
There you go, and that's what I'm banking on. The MAC is hosting the Ohio Bobcats of the MAC. They're hosting Chicago State. Chicago State's getting 12. Fuck you. Chicago State's a covering machine. They're a juggernaut. Show some respect. This line's off. It should be like 7 or 8. Who's joining me?
I'm with you.
Oh!
Just the two of us?
Is it just the two of us like fucking Barry White over here? What do you, Moneyline Mac, you coming?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna come. I mean, what's their name? Chicago State, man. They've been feisty lately. Minnesota, Ball State. They've been right there to win those games outright. Maybe they get it done outright this time.
Triple lock with the Cougars. Let's go.
Yeah, so real quick, this is the 7th straight road game for Chicago State, and they are 0-6 straight up, but they're 5-1 ATS on this trip, and overall this year they're 7-2 as a double-digit dog. So Moneyline Mac, I don't think they're going to win straight up, but because they don't, but they are going to cover
exactly.
Games, man.
They'll tease us. Tease us.
Let's keep the locks flowing. Vanderbilt's hosting Southeast Louisiana. Vanderbilt's laying 15 points. Woo. The Lions can play ball. We caught it with Grambling earlier this year. Southeast Louisiana covers the 15. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I like Southeast Louisiana, but I don't know. They've kind of burned me as of late. They had a little bit of magic early. I'll lean to Southeast Louisiana though.
Nick?
Yeah, that's definitely my lean. I mean, Vandy is 1-6 ATS at home, which is a crazy record because I don't think they're, they don't get like Duke lines. They're not like, a public side where they get a few extra points. So the fact that they're 1-6 ATS at home is definitely concerning. And the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana have, played a few good teams tight, like that 6-point loss at Dayton. So I'm gonna go Lions here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna refrain from locking up right now.
Dude, this gym, first off, their fans suck. The fans sit like 40 yards behind the
right.
The stadium has got to be the worst in college basketball.
It's like a volleyball court first,
yeah,
and then a basketball arena.
It's like, let's put our you have Vanderbilt money. You have Vanderbilt money. What are you doing? Like you're if you get first row tickets to a Vanderbilt game, you're really on like the 30th fucking row. You know what I mean? You're that far back. Terrible stadium. Concord is taking on Akron. We don't have a line on that one because it's not a D1 on D1 game. North Alabama taking on Jacksonville State. North Alabama's catching 6. I watched Jacksonville State the other night. I know it was a sleepy spot, but they barely beat Georgia Southwest. Give me the Lions of North Alabama. They went to Ole Miss and won. I'll take the points. with the Lions. Maybe we do a little Lion parlay with Southeast Louisiana and North Alabama. All right, let's go. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, you kind of mentioned it. Little brother angle here. I'll ride the Lions with you.
Nick?
I think you have to. And Jacksonville State has been a darling of mine in years past gambling, but they're not the same team this year. And just look at what North Alabama has done recently. That win over Ole Miss that you mentioned. They also beat Morehead State on the road. I don't see how you don't take the points here. So, yeah, I'm on board.
Prairie View is catching 18.5. Wow. 18.5. Texas A&M going to College Station. I mean, look, Prairie View beat Washington State by 11. Prairie View beat Nick's Arkansas State squad. Only lost by 10 at Northwestern. They head to College Station. Look, Texas A&M's been a weird team this year. They were struggling with Northwestern State. They were losing at halftime. They ended up winning that game by 12. They lost to, who was it they got upset by early in the year? They got a lot. A&M got upset by someone terrible, I feel like.
Murray State?
Maybe that was it. No.
Colorado?
It was Wofford.
Oh, yeah, just a couple weeks ago. Or just, yeah.
So give me the points. Give me. I'll take the points and Prairie View. PV, baby. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I think that's a side you have to lean towards because I just don't feel comfortable laying a big number with Texas A&M against anybody, really. So I'm with you. Give me the points.
Mac?
Yeah, I'm taking the points as well. Like you said, man, this A&M team, they're frauds. I mean, you can't lay a big number with them.
I thought Buzz would have done better down there. I'm kind of surprised that his teams have been, very average.
Marist is heading to Fairfield. Fairfield is laying 6. This game's a lot of fun. Man, the last time they played, Fairfield won by 3. That was last January. This is at the Leo D. Mahoney Arena. Big Police Academy fans. Who knew Mahoney went to Fairfield? I'm sorry. I'm still taking the points. No, I'm not. Marist sucks. I caught that game the other day. I'll lay the 6 with Fairfield. Don't bet this game, Nick.
While I am a big fan of the Stags' big man Supreme Cook for Fairfield, this is too many points, man. These teams have split the series the last 3 years, and Marist has won the last 2 at Fairfield.
I thought you were going to say you were a big Mahoney fan.
Well, I'm a big Mahoney fan as well, of course. If he was playing for Fairfield, maybe I would choose differently. But give me the points with Marist.
Let me ask you that: if we have Police Academy all playing,
Hightower, Bill Russell. All right, Hightower is like the defensive all-star. I mean, you're not getting anything.
You can't see Tackleberry being a little Bill Lambier.
Yeah, he would play dirty for sure. Ryan, do you even know what the hell we're talking about?
Yeah. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you're probably like most people out there, so don't feel bad.
Captain Harris had a killer cross, man. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'll take the point. Fairfield's coming off the win against Coast Guard the other night.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Western Michigan. Do we have another Mac upset pending? They're heading to Madison, Wisconsin. Western Michigan's getting 21.5 points. It's a big number. It's a big number for the Broncos. Can they pull it off at the Kohl's Center? Shout out to Kohl's. Great department store. Man, I hate laying. I love how someone left me this comment the other day. I mean, this might have been a review or it was a DM. One of the two was that I fuck with this show ever since you said I can't lay 20 points with Wisconsin because they start 5 white guys, right? And he goes, I listened to that advice and it hit. I took
That's a hell of a handicap.
I'm gonna stick to that handicap. My only fear is Western Michigan might start 5 white guys as well. But give me the 21.5 and the Broncos, Nick.
Well, Western Michigan I actually saw live and in person. Right after my liquor pitchers at Waldo's up in the K Zoo in Michigan, and let me tell you, they suck, man. They are not good. So I'm gonna. I mean, yeah, they have 4 wins on the year, but only 1 is against a D1 school. That was Houston Christian. So I'm
looking at that Minnesota game and saying they only lost by 1 to Minnesota.
I'm gonna lay the points, but I'm also looking at Wisconsin's game against Green Bay in November, where they won like 56-45. That's where it's like a little concerning, but I'm definitely taking Wisconsin. The question is, I considered locking it because I saw Western Michigan. They're not good.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination. They're not good. So I thought about locking it here. I might check the picks page.
All right, Mac, what are you doing here? Are you going with the Mac?
Yeah, I'm going with the Mac. What's it called? I was impressed. They beat Siena Heights the other night, so they got right. They kept it within 20 of Iowa State as well. They lost by 20 to Dayton. I think they can backdoor this.
I looked at a 2-bedroom at Siena Heights. That was a great. I almost got that. Couldn't get my credit rating was too shit. Couldn't get into the Siena Heights.
You gotta go to the Vista Views.
The Vista Views, yeah, I got it.
There ain't no Vista, there ain't no view, and there damn sure ain't no Vista of any views. You know what I'm talking about?
What is that? What is that reference? There?
That's White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Speaking of white men, speaking of an all-white starting 5, come on.
Oh man,
Badgers on Wisconsin.
Yes, on Wisconsin. Coppin State is heading to Piscataway at the Rack. They don't call it the Rack anymore. It probably offended these fuckers. What do they call this now?
Jersey Mike's. What the hell's that?
Might make a good sandwich.
Hopefully it's not like the Chick-fil-A fucking stadium the Falcons play in, where they play on Sundays. They can't even get Chick-fil-A because of their company standards.
Have you never been with Jersey Mike's, Ryan?
No, I have. I just like, why is that the net? Why is it not called the Rack anymore?
I know. Call it the Rack. They got offended.
It's money, guys. They got a freaking sponsor.
That's why we need that tit money to come out. You know what I mean? Need a NIL collective. I don't know, a bunch of doctors that are plastic surgeons. Throw some money behind the
Rob
Rack.
Donaldson in the chat says Catfish University.
Hey, this is Catfish University, Coppin State.
What's the line here again?
We're getting 25 and a half.
25 and a half.
That's a lot of points.
Last time they played at the Rack, they lost by 25. They only scored. They lost by 25. They only scored 39 that game. I'm going to take the points. Nick?
No, I agree. I mean, usually with Rutgers, you always take the points when they're laying a huge number against a smaller school. Now, I will say they just beat Bucknell by 35, and they just beat Wake Forest by 24. But still, I'm going to stick to my old thing where you take the points with the big number at Rutgers. So give me Coppin State.
Mac?
Yeah, I'm on Coppin State as well. Rutgers has a big one Monday night in West Lafayette against Purdue. So look ahead spot. I'll take Coppin State.
Nice.
Yeah, got to go with take the points with the Catfish. You have New Orleans, Houston Christian. That's a game that's happening tomorrow, but that is not a Houston. Oh, actually, I don't have a line on that one. They are both D1 schools.
That's a shitty game, man.
Yeah, that's a Southland classic right there.
How many people are going to be at the Sharp Gymnasium in Houston for that?
Hey, they're going to get a treat because last year New Orleans won 75-74 on March 2nd.
Wow.
So what do you do? What do you got going on in Houston on a nice winter Friday night? All right, hop on over to the Sharp and catch a good ball game. I don't have a line on that one, so get the picks page. Maybe I'll show up I'll throw up a sharp lock at the Sharp Center.
We are a few sharp sharks over here, so you never know.
North Dakota State is taking on North Dakota. This is a little rivalry game going on at the Bobby Engelstad Sioux Falls Center, some shit like that. I don't know, something like that.
It's the Betty Engelstad Center. You sexist bastard.
Oh, she was a good point guard. Let me tell you, Grand Forks, North Dakota should be rocking tomorrow because this is a rivalry game. North Dakota State won by 26 a season ago, but the problem is the Fighting Hawks are the better team this year. That's why I'm going to lay the 1 with the Fighting Hawks in North Dakota. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm with you. I'm going to take North Dakota here. Rivalry game, take the home team.
Nick?
North Dakota State is actually another shitty team I've seen in person this year. They traveled all the way to North Carolina and beat Elon on their home court.
That team's awful.
Yeah, Elon is rough, man. I've seen some really bad basketball teams this year.
Are you trying to seek out like the starting for the white?
I think so. I think so. I think that should be a goal of mine come 2023. Even though like this is a bad game. You got 284 versus 316 in KenPom, and North Dakota is 316, but I still think they're at home. I think they're just as good, if not potentially even better than North Dakota State.
We should lock this.
No, you should not. You should not fucking touch this game.
Dakota lock. Let's go.
That's on you guys.
I don't have many locks. I feel like North Dakota is a way better team this year.
I don't know if they're way better at all. So I'm going to take North Dakota, but if you guys want to lock it up, you're on your own.
Hey, you know what they both do have in common? They both have Summit League losses to the Tommies, baby.
Did the Tommies win tonight, by the way? Can we get an update on that?
No, they lost. So they came back down to earth.
Oh, a bitch.
Can't win them all.
What about an update on our lock battle there?
Oh.
Hey, you want to know something? Georgetown decided they were going to foul to lose by 6. So shout out to Pat Ewing and the Hoyas for not covering in a game they should have won.
Terrible fucking night.
Dude, the lock battle sweat is real. 2 minutes left. SIU's up by 13.
Oof.
Hey, you want to sweat? Lindenwood's down 1 with 1 minute to go. Rob Donaldson's monitoring that one at EIU.
How about Oral Roberts barely gets the dub against Omaha? They only win by 3. We were on. I took Omaha there. Shout out to Big Ten dumbass who tweeted at.
First off, I love the name.
He tweeted me that he was at the game. That's our demographic right there. Shout out to a Big Ten dumbass, aka Lambo Mercy.
Guys, some of my late locks are actually looking pretty good here. Like Loyola Marymount, our guys, La Pepe, they are up 19 and they were getting points. And then dude, Weber State, they've turned a corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're up 20 on Northern Colorado. I like that up.
I took Northern Colorado too.
Vegas has not adjusted yet. Get on board with Weber State when you can.
By the way, Memphis won that game.
I know. I watched it. South Florida completely collapsed.
Damn. Shit.
Too good to be true. How about St. Mary's is drilling San Diego right now by 20?
Wow.
They're good, though. And UAB beats UTEP in double overtime. What a wild one that was. We have 2 other games to handicap here. Pac-12 play. USC goes to Seattle, the meth capital of the United States, after that bust I recited the other night. USC's laying 1. I feel like Washington, they lost that Auburn game. I feel like this is a tough game to handicap here. I'm going to go with USC -1, though. I'm going to go with the better coach at the end of the day. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, no, I kind of like Washington here, home court. Every now and then, I mean, the place isn't lit anymore. That place used to be rocking, but coming off the loss to Auburn, off the break, I kind of like him to bounce back here against USC.
Nick?
At first glance, I kind of wanted to go Washington too because I thought they were really good at home, but they did just lose by 23 to Auburn at home, and they lost early in the year at home to Cal Baptist. So with that, I was like, you know what? USC is hot right now. They're the better team. I'll roll the dice on a road team. Give me USC.
All right, final Pac-12 game on the slate. UCLA goes into Pullman. I feel like these matchups recently in Pullman have been games. UCLA is laying 8.5 in Pullman at, what do they call this? I actually saw this stadium. The Beasley Coliseum, I believe. This game's on the Pac-12 network, so good luck watching it. See if you can find it on your radio dial.
Yeah, can't find it.
I don't think this Washington State. I think this is actually Smith's worst squad. He got killed in the portal with Roberts going to San Francisco. I'm gonna lay the 8.5 with UCLA. Nick?
Yeah, I don't love it, but I'm gonna do the same here. So UCLA swept Wazoo last year, but that was a game in LA and in the Pac-12 championship. So they didn't play in Pullman last year. 2 years ago, when UCLA went to the Final Four, they lost at Washington State. And actually, UCLA has lost there 2 games in a row, or 2 times in a row. I think that stops here because I do think they're the better team here. Give me UCLA. They're on a roll, too.
Yeah. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, they're rolling, and Washington State is coming back from 3 games and 3 nights in Hawaii. So big travel spot. I'm locking up UCLA.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Go.
money line, Mac going with the Bruins. Lay the points in Pullman. Shout out to the Coug, great bar in Pullman. All right, so to recap my locks, once again, we the only game we didn't have a line on was New Orleans Houston Christian, aka Houston Baptist. I'm going to my locks. I'm locking up Chicago State plus 12 at Ohio. I am locking up Southeast Louisiana getting 15 in Nashville against Vanderbilt. I am locking up Clemson -2 at home against NC State. I want to have one more lock.
North Dakota.
You know what it is, though? It's Bucknell -5.5 against Holy Cross. I forgot.
Oh, that's right.
That one.
That's right.
Those are Pick Dundee's locks. Let's get back on the right side of things. NC Nick, your locks, fire away.
All right. So we have also the Clemson -2 at home versus NC State. We have the Chicago.
Bucknell, right? You took Bucknell -5.5.
Yeah. Throw the buck down there too. And then also the Chicago State getting points at Ohio. What else did I have here? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and lock up Wisconsin -21.5 at home versus Western Michigan.
Trusting,
lock up that big number. Come on, white guys. And if I had to go one more, give me Navy. What was it? Plus a 1.5?
Yeah, they're getting 1.5 at Boston.
Give me Navy 1.5 at Boston.
I kind of like that angle. Mac, fire away with your locks.
Yeah, no, we're going to lead it off. Bucknell -5.5. We're all on Clemson -2.5 against NC State to get it done. The Bulls of Buffalo, Blue Collar U, plus 16.5 in East Lansing. That's a game. Chicago State, baby, the Cougars, plus 12. I'm joining you. I'm adding this one. I'm going to take the Lions of Southeast Louisiana, plus 15.5. I think that's a game as well. Laying the points out west in the Pac-12 matchup with UCLA, -8.5 at Washington State. And I'll add one last one. I said they're going to win the game outright, so I might as well lock it up. Give me the Irish, plus 2.5 to beat the Hurricanes to start the day. Let's go.
There we go.
You know what? I'll hop on the Navy one. I'm on the Navy one. Let's go. In the Navy. They cover the fucking spread in Boston. All right, folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Remember, we're here every single day breaking down games. However, tomorrow I'll let you know ahead of time that we will not only be talking about Saturday's unbelievably loaded slate, since that's New Year's Eve, we're also going to tackle Sunday's games because we're going to be shit hammered and we're not going to be able to record on Saturday night.
Good call.
Just know it's a big episode tomorrow. And you will not hear from us Saturday night. But then again, if you're trying to listen to us on Saturday night in the middle of, the ball drop, Carson Daly talking to you on that stupid fucking show where they count down, all that good stuff, all these great games going to happen. Maybe you should go get cherry bombed. All right. Just an idea. All right. Subscribe to the College Football Experience too, because our episodes we've been on fire in bowl season. It started out rough. Been on fire of late with the covers. Oklahoma plus 10 cash for me today. And we got the college football playoffs, the invitational, all that good stuff. We got that all handicapped. Check out that episode on the College Football Experience. Also, check out the College Baseball Experience. Noah Beanick's about to be doing conference previews as the season goes into full swing in February. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. Also, get on over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Come on, I see how many people are listening to this fucking thing. When I load up iTunes, I see the 7 reviews we've gotten like the past month. I appreciate those 7, all right? But come on, get on over there. It takes a minute or two out of your day. Stop being lazy. Come on. Also, check out all of Moneyline Mac's work. He's the host of the Ryan and Rush Show. He's the host of the NFL Gambling Podcast. Check out all that good fun. And remember, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They started it all right, go check out the Godfathers. Get the SGPN app, because you're going to need that if you're going to want to know about our Houston Baptist, who was that, McNeese parlay? No, New Orleans, Houston Baptist. I'm sorry, that's not a parlay either. That's a pick. But hey, maybe you want to parlay it. Maybe you go first half. Maybe you go full game and the total. All right, you could do it. You would be awesome for doing that in my book. So, but you'll have that access on the app for free to download in the App Store, Google Play Store. Get the SGPN app. Come talk college hoops with us. All right. Maybe you are sitting at home when the ball's dropping. Broke up with your ex. You're crying. You're just sitting there, and maybe you're saying, you know what, man, I wish I could talk about North Dakota basketball.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah. Well, here's where it takes that turn. All right.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
All right. You instead of being depressed and thinking about jumping out your fucking window, you go over to the Discord, right? And you say, hey, guys, this North Dakota basketball team's not so bad. Pick Dundee. You were right. They are better than North Dakota State. And boom, we start interacting with you, and we start talking North Dakota Fighting Hawk basketball. Next thing you know, you're getting season tickets, even though you don't even live in North Dakota, right? Boom. All right. All because of the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hop on over there. All right, folks, this is the college basketball experience. I mean, Happy New Year's, happy holidays. Remember, tomorrow night we'll be back, but just want to throw that out there. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Somewhere, somehow, someone, somewhere.